Welcome, YouTube channel Hidden World Fact. Today topic is why California is so expensive. A shimmering dream, a golden state. For generations, California has called to the ambitious, the innovative, the seeking. But beneath the sun-drenched facade, a hidden price tag looms. A cost that quietly reshapes lives, alters destinies, and begs a critical question: why is California so astronomically expensive? Imagine a place, a landscape of unparalleled beauty. Towering redwoods touch the sky. Golden deserts stretch to infinity. And a coastline that kisses the Pacific. This is California, the promised land. But for millions, this promise has become a gilded cage. A relentless financial squeeze. Every sunrise brings not just hope, but a gnawing question: can we afford another day? What forces conspired to make this paradise a battleground for survival, where dreams often drown in a sea of dollar signs? The truth, etched into its very foundations, is far more complex than you might imagine. The story of California's exorbitant cost is not a simple tale. It's a confluence of history, policy, geography, and explosive growth. A narrative woven from aspiration and scarcity. For decades, California has been a magnet, a beacon for technological innovation, Hollywood glamour, and agricultural abundance. This relentless allure, however, has also been its undoing, pushing the very definition of affordability to its breaking point. Understanding this phenomenon requires us to peel back the layers of its past, examining the pivotal moments and decisions that paved the way for its current economic reality. The legend began in 1848. The Gold Rush, a spark that ignited an unprecedented migration. Hundreds of thousands flocked to California, seeking fortune. This sudden, massive influx of people immediately stressed nascent infrastructure and limited resources. Land, once plentiful, became a commodity. Towns exploded overnight. The first lesson in California's high cost was quickly learned: high demand for limited resources drives prices sky high. Early land speculation, rapid urbanization without comprehensive planning, and the inherent geographic constraints of mountains and ocean began to carve out the future. This era established a foundational truth: California's desirability would always outpace its capacity, laying the groundwork for a housing crisis centuries later. The gold rush didn't just find gold, it unearthed the economic pressures that define California today. By the mid-20th century, California's natural splendor was under threat. Rapid development, a consequence of unending growth, began to consume its precious landscapes. This sparked a powerful environmental movement. Landmark legislation, designed to protect the state's invaluable ecosystems, began to emerge. The California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, enacted in 1970, became a formidable tool. While crucial for environmental preservation, CEQA also introduced significant hurdles to new construction. Lengthy impact studies, complex legal challenges, and extensive delays became the norm. Projects stalled. Development costs soared. This regulatory framework, born of necessity, inadvertently tightened the housing supply. Less new housing meant existing homes became more valuable, fueling an upward spiral in prices. The delicate balance between protecting nature and providing shelter became an agonizing dilemma, making housing a scarce, coveted commodity. In 1978, a political earthquake shook California, Proposition 13. Born from taxpayer revolt against rising property taxes, this ballot initiative dramatically limited property tax increases to 2% per year, based on the original purchase price. For existing homeowners, it was a godsend. For the state, it created a profound and lasting impact. With property taxes severely constrained, local governments became starved of revenue. Funding for schools, roads, and public services dwindled. To compensate, municipalities turned to other sources: sales taxes, development fees, and increasingly, fees for new construction. These fees, often substantial, were passed directly to homebuyers, further inflating housing costs. Proposition 13 also created a disincentive for existing homeowners to sell, preferring to keep their low tax base, contributing to low inventory. This fiscal straitjacket, intended to protect homeowners, ironically exacerbated the housing crisis and placed a heavier burden on new residents and renters. The promise of stability created a new form of inequality. The late 20th and early 21st centuries ushered in California's latest gold rush: technology. Silicon Valley became a global epicenter of innovation. Trillions of dollars flowed into the state. Tech companies offered unprecedented salaries, attracting brilliant minds from across the world. This created immense wealth, but it was unevenly distributed. A new class of highly paid tech workers flooded desirable urban centers, willing and able to pay top dollar for housing. This demand, colliding with already limited supply, sent rents and home prices skyrocketing. The average Californian, whose wages couldn't keep pace with the tech industry's explosive growth, found themselves increasingly priced out. Essential workers, teachers, nurses, service staff, struggled to live in the communities they served. The very engine of California's prosperity created an agonizing wage divide, where the cost of living became a barrier, not a dream. We stand at a precipice. California, a beacon of progress, faces its ultimate paradox. The very attributes that draw millions, its innovation, its beauty, its promise, are now its most formidable barriers. The legacy of the gold rush, the necessary hand of environmental protection, the unforeseen consequences of Proposition 13, and the relentless march of the tech boom have converged. They have forged an economic landscape where the common dream of a secure home feels increasingly out of reach. The tension is palpable. Communities splinter. Families disperse. This is not merely a financial problem, it is a profound societal challenge. The moral of this story is clear. Unchecked desirability, combined with structural limitations and historical policy, can transform paradise into an exclusionary frontier. The cost of living is not just a number, it's a measure of human resilience, a test of equity, and a reflection of our collective choices. California's story is a powerful lesson. It teaches us that prosperity, if not carefully managed, can create its own scarcity. The Golden State remains a land of opportunity, but its golden gates are increasingly guarded by insurmountable costs. The question now is not just why it's so expensive, but what will we do? Will California find a way to balance its environmental stewardship with the urgent need for housing? Can it reform policies that inadvertently exacerbate inequality? Will its innovative spirit extend to solving its most pressing social and economic challenges? The future of California, and perhaps a blueprint for other desirable regions, hinges on these answers. It demands bold vision, equitable solutions, and a renewed commitment to the very promise that first drew the world to its shore.